AITA for lying to my strict and homophobic parents about my girlfriend being straight and pretending she is just my best friend. Plus 2 updates. I am an 18-year-old girl. My sister, Alice, and her girlfriend, Jill, are both 16. My girlfriend, Kelly, is 21. My stepdad, Lee, is 37, and my mom, M, is 40. All fake names. Here's some background. My parents work nights. I am openly gay, and my sister Alice is bisexual, but she tells them she is straight. She has been dating Jill on and off for over a year, and our parents have no idea. M and Lee are extremely controlling and strict. I won't go into all the details, but growing up, we weren't even allowed to have friends over until I turned 16. And we are never allowed to have partners over. Since I am openly gay, any female friend I have is seen as a possible girlfriend. My parents act like every girl is into me. So I have specific rules. If a friend comes over, the door has to stay open, we have to sleep in separate beds, and if my parents are working, I can't have anyone over at all. Alice doesn't have those restrictions because they think she is straight. She can close her door, have friends over while they are gone, and do pretty much whatever she wants. Also, we have cameras in the living room and kitchen. In the past, I was honest with Em and Lee about my relationships. But whenever I said I was dating a girl, they acted weird like she had some kind of disease. They wouldn't talk to her, made her uncomfortable, and it caused strain on my relationships. Eventually, I stopped introducing them to my partners. But deep down, I want them to be able to build a friendship with someone I love. I met Kelly on a dating app. Em and L don't know that's where we met. We were both looking for friends, but we quickly became more. We connected right away. After a month of nonstop calls and texting, I confessed my feelings on April 20th. She felt the same but wanted to wait until I graduated high school on May 22nd. But just 5 days later, on April 25th, she asked me to be her girlfriend, and I said yes. We kept calling each other all the time and started hanging out in person. I eventually asked Lee if Kelly could stay the night. He said she could, but she had to sleep on the couch and we had to keep the door open. Kelly wasn't comfortable sleeping with the cameras watching her, so she slept on an air mattress in my room instead. After a few nights like that, I started feeling guilty about lying, and I wanted to tell Em and Lee the truth. Kelly and I talked about it. She knows how controlling they are and was worried they might try to keep us apart. I ended up talking to my aunt, who was at the house, and told her the truth. She was really supportive and helped me feel less guilty about not telling Em and Lee if I wasn't ready. There were other times I wanted to tell them, but it never felt right. Then something happened that scared me. One night, Kelly was over, and so was Jill. I accidentally shut the door out of habit. Lee came upstairs, yelled at me to do the dishes, and then yelled at Kelly, "Shut this door again and you are gone." It scared both of us. Jill refused to leave Alice's room because she was scared too. Kelly started crying. It triggered trauma for her and brought up bad memories. We tried to distract ourselves by playing Cards Against Humanity, but after that, I felt too scared to tell them the truth. Recently, Jill stayed the night and Em and Lee were working. I asked if Kelly could stay over too, but Lee said no because they weren't home. That didn't feel fair. So I sent this message. Message I sent to L. "Hey Lee, I didn't really know how to say this in person, but I still wanted to bring it up. I have been feeling like it's kind of unfair that Jill is allowed to stay over when you and Mom aren't home, but when I asked if a friend like Kelly could, I was told no because you wouldn't be there. Last time Kelly stayed over because of the rain when you were at work, we just watched movies and hung out, and everything was fine. I am not saying this to try and get Kelly to come over tonight or to change anything last minute. I just wanted to share how I am feeling in a respectful way. I am not trying to be disrespectful at all. I just want to be treated the same as Alice in this kind of situation. I am not asking for special treatment, just equal trust. Thanks for listening. I love you." Eventually, I got tired of the unfairness and came up with a plan. Kelly and I decided to fake a rejection. I asked her out and showed Em and Lee and had her pretend to say no and say she was straight. We even planned out the text conversation. Em and Lee believed it. After that, they lifted some rules, and now Kelly is allowed to stay over even if they are not home. They said they thought Kelly was gay and that they don't know whether a friend is just a friend or if we're dating, and that I could say we're friends and be dating, and it's easy to know if Alice has a boy over but not so easy for them to know with me. But now that they saw I got rejected, they know she is straight so they can stay over, and I made it convincing by saying, why do they have to be straight? How do I always fall for the straight ones? But now I feel so bad for lying. I do plan to move out with Kelly and her sister in 6 months, and at that point I plan to tell Em and Lee the truth that we are dating. We will say that Kelly only recently figured out her identity after leaving her homophobic parents' house, and that we just started dating, which is partly true. Their parents are very religious and homophobic. But it still feels like a huge lie. I want to marry this girl one day. She means everything to me. And it's so hard to lie about the person I love most. But at this point, I don't think I can go back and undo the lie. I feel stuck. Please give me your honest thoughts, advice, and opinions. I really don't know what to do anymore. Thank you. Update. Hi, I didn't know there would be an update to this, but a lot has happened in the past few days that's worth sharing. First, I want to say that Kelly's parents didn't know we were dating either. They are very religious, Catholic, and homophobic. Kelly's sister, Molly, not her real name, is 29, a single mom of 4, and lives with Kelly and their parents. One night, she had a guy she was interested in over. She doesn't have her own room and had a curfew for when he had to leave, but he stayed 30 minutes past that. Their mom came in and told him to go, and Molly got frustrated. She said something like, "How come Kelly and the younger sibling can have their partners over, but I can't?" And in that moment, she accidentally outed Kelly by mentioning me. She didn't mean to, it just slipped. That's when their mom reacted by saying, "You are right. No one can have anyone over anymore." So she made a new rule that no one could stay the night at all. Which felt completely unfair, especially because Kelly hadn't done anything wrong. After that, I couldn't go over to Kelly's house anymore. My parents still thought we were just best friends, so Kelly could stay the night at my house. But keeping up that lie started to weigh on me. I felt really guilty, and my parents were beginning to catch on. I kept needing to make up more lies to cover things, and I knew they were eventually going to find out either from someone else or by putting the pieces together. So Kelly and I talked about it and decided it would be better if we told them the truth rather than have them find out on their own. We explained that we had just started dating and that Kelly was pretending to be straight around her parents. My mom and her partner Lee said the rules would change and that we would talk about boundaries when I got home. The next day, Kelly tried talking to her mom and respectfully asked if she would lift the no sleepovers rule, since Kelly hadn't broken any trust. But her mom said it wasn't about trust, it was about the nature of our relationship. Basically, she was saying the rule existed because we are gay. She said more openly homophobic things that made both of us really uncomfortable. When I get nervous, I tend to laugh, it's a coping mechanism, and I giggled. That's when Kelly's mom snapped at me, "If you are going to be disrespectful and giggle, get out of my house." So I walked to the door, hurt and embarrassed. But I heard Kelly and Molly standing up for me. They defended me and even called out their mom for being homophobic. Their mom denied it and said, "I'm not homophobic, I just didn't expect this." But eventually, she got so angry she kicked Kelly out just for standing up for me and for being gay. So we went to my house. We explained everything to my mom and Lee, and I asked if Kelly could stay the night. They agreed, but only for that night and only because Kelly had nowhere else to go. We also had to sleep in separate rooms. Separate rooms? Kelly got off work around 2 a.m., and when she arrived, she told me she was really anxious about sleeping alone in an unfamiliar place. So I told her I would stay in her room until she fell asleep, then sneak back into mine. But I was exhausted too, and we both ended up falling asleep. In the morning, we woke up to Lee yelling at Kelly, "Out." Then he stormed off. I freaked out, ran downstairs trying to find him, but I couldn't. I went back to check on Kelly, apologized to her, and hugged her while she packed her stuff. I tried to explain everything to Lee, but he wouldn't listen. I ended up calling my dad, who currently lives in a hotel since he can't afford a place and is planning to move to Florida soon. He said we could stay with him for a while. So now, Kelly and I are staying there. It's a bit cramped, but it's safe. It's a place where we can be ourselves. My dad already knew we were dating and has been supportive. Later, my mom texted me and tried to cover for Lee, saying he just had a bad night. She told him to apologize, and he did, but I don't forgive him. He had no right to yell at Kelly like that. All of this is why we lied in the first place. Update 2. Hello. I have some amazing news. I proposed. Kelly and I were at my dad's friend's house, just hanging out and playing music. I had been thinking about proposing for a while, but I didn't have a ring or anything. So, I made one out of a Starburst wrapper, her favorite flavor, of course. I told myself that if the song Paper Rings by Taylor Swift played that night, I would take it as a sign from the universe and propose. And then it played. So I did it. I asked her to marry me and now we are engaged. We are still young and don't have much money, so it will be a long engagement. And obviously, I'm not telling my mom or Lee yet since they think Kelly and I have only been dating for a week. We have obviously been dating longer than that. On top of that, Kelly and I applied for a studio apartment together, fingers crossed we get approved. I will let you know as soon as I hear anything. But honestly, I love her so much. I know I want to spend the rest of my life with her. No matter what anyone else thinks, this is real, and it's ours.